Hello, hello. We're waiting for you to come and join us. Please share your name, where you're coming from. We're so happy that you're able to join us at 1:30. Well, for us, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, but whatever time that you're in, we're so happy for you to join us. You guys are in for a treat. I am so fortunate to work with these amazing ladies. I learned so much from them. And I feel like every time I hear from them that, yeah, I'm going to pick up those nuggets. And I have my notebook ready because I'm going to take notes because we can never learn enough, right? If you want to grow yourself, you want to continue learning. And I always say you will stop learning the day that you die. But until you then, you will keep on learning.
That's right.
Okay, so it's 1:29, so I'm going to have a start the screen so that I can actually formally introduce my three lovely ladies that are joining us tonight. So, well, not tonight, right now. Okay, let me do my share screen right now. Okay. Right now. Okay, let me do my Okay, so you know what? I just realized something. If the screen is not okay, just hold on for a minute. See, I'm telling you, just hold on for a minute, everybody.
So greetings to all of you. As Suzanne said, just kind of type in the chat if you are on Zoom or if you are on Facebook, where you're from. Would love to hear from you.
Yes.
I see there are people on. I see Dr. D is on. Yay, Dr. D. Hello, hello. She's commented. But when I turn on the comments, then I've got double talking, so I don't know how to do that.
Hello, hello, Dr. D. Okay, so welcome to TLS Trainer Panel. We did one just right before Christmas, and everyone loved it. And I think all of you know we have amazing TLS trainer in our TLS division, but I think some of you never really get to learn from them. I mean, you learn from them from the TLS training, of course, but you know what's better than to learn from them all together in one space. And that's why I wanted to do more of these panel interviews so that you can pick their brain, learn as much nuggets as possible. I always say that if you want to have a full life and growth in every aspect, you want to fill your bags with nuggets of everything. And these ladies not only are successful, they have experiences in so many different areas. And that's really wonderful about attending a TLS 101 and 201 training, is because you get to not just learn about the TLS 101 and 201, which is amazing training, but you get to learn from these experiences. And I think as you're getting older, I think experience is the most valuable thing that you cannot replace. You cannot even take it from somebody. You need to go through that and experience it. And I think that's the most valuable. So for that, let me start off by introducing myself for those of you who don't know who I am. My name is Suzanne Hua. I am a dietitian, a certified diabetes educator. I have my own radio show for 12 years. I absolutely love doing it because I love to educate. I'm passionate about prevention and about really eating more of a holistically and from a lifestyle management perspective. I have the honor to become a TLS director of training. I'm also obviously a TLS trainer myself, GPT trainer, and with the company a national supervising coordinator. So welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And let me repeat by really talk about really what I'm feeling totally very passionate about is our mission. Our mission in TLS Weight Loss Solution is to empower people through science-based proven methodology to advance individual in health and wealth. And Transition Lifestyle System is committed to maximizing human potential. So last time when we did a panel interview, we were talking about health. Today, guess what we're going to talk about? Wealth. I don't know if there's a lot of division or a lot of business out there that truly give you both, like health and wealth. And that's why we're all so passionate about TLS. And for that, I'm going to introduce one at a time. Like these ladies has so much, like they are so successful that the bio is not enough to really pack it in. And we are going to try to pack as much as we can so that you guys can learn from all these three amazing trainers that we have here. First and foremost, I would like to introduce Coach Carin Roberts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me read her bio and her accolades. 2017, 2018, number one TLS global sales. Right? 2015, 2016, number one TLS coach, Northeast region in sales. 2014, 2010, Northeast region top 10 challenge winner, as well as 2013 Northeast region rising to the top award. 2012, my goodness, TLS trainer of the year. 2011, as well as 2017 TLS certified coach of the year. She is also an owner of 3 transformation gym. She is a director with a company and built solely with TLS. So if you want to be a director in a company solely building with TLS, you definitely want to listen to her. So it is like her extreme passion is to empower people to grow into their fullest potential, which is exactly part of the mission for TLS. Second, we were talking to Barb. I'm not going to share Barb's age, but oh my goodness, this lady will never stop learning. When you talk about experience, take about my experience times it by 3, and that's Barb. Okay, $1 million earner, started their business in 1995, certified trainer, certified TLS coach, and TLS trainer of the year 2019, district coordinator, certified nutrimetric consultant, nutrimetric trainer. She's a product specialist. She's a former school teacher, married for 51 years, and I'm only on my 7th year. Grandma of 11 and executive supervising coordinator with the company. Last but not least, Coach Beth Black. She's an occupational therapist and fitness professional. Current and franchise owner is a national supervising coordinator. I know Beth has so many accolades that I would love for her to share more about it. She's also a $1 Million Club member, nutrimetric consultant, TLS coach and trainer, as well as Florida district coordinator. Welcome, welcome, ladies. So I would actually maybe start off by have Carin to share, maybe each of you to share, why do you, of all the major that we have in the company, why TLS?
Well, I was actually interested in TLS because of the system, because I was missing. It was a missing link in what I did. I owned gyms and I wanted them to be transformation studios, but I didn't have all the pieces. So, you know, finding TLS and the 4-prong structured system is exactly what I needed to add value to my existing businesses, adding value and results, because people, you know, don't come to you. You know, people don't come to a gym. They think they come to get sore, right? But it's not the getting sore, and it's results. And I wasn't getting all of the results I could, because people were coming in and they were exercising, then they were looking at how many calories they burned, and then they were going home and they were eating pizza, or I earned this donut, or, you know, it was all calories in, calories out. So when I found this system that talks, everything's about quality, right? Quality nutrition. And I didn't have a background in nutrition. So I was told, as a gym owner and a personal trainer, that I couldn't talk about meal plans and nutrition to my clients. So when I found TLS, and it was all the nutrition is written there, all the science behind the nutraceuticals, and the education that not only I could learn, but I could share, because when you know better, you do better, right? So that's what drew me to TLS. And I was, you know, sick myself at the time, burning the candle at both ends. And I had a lot of health challenges going on that people didn't even realize. So I always say, heal yourself, heal your family, heal your neighbor, in that order. So sometimes it's the work that needs to be done on yourself first, and then you're just sharing what you did, right? You're just sharing the structure and the system. So that's why I fell in love with TLS. I didn't know it was going to turn into the income that it has, but that's just the way our business is structured. The more you give, the more you earn, and it's overwhelming, but I'm going to give for the rest of my life. So it's just So,
And I think, Carin, you brought up a very good point. I think a lot of people often think, if you are a gym owner, like that you are free from work. People somehow think that you're the boss and you can tell your personal, like your trainer, personal trainer to do the work and you are free. But they don't know that when you are a gym owner, whether you're a business owner, you just got yourself your job. Like you just become an employee of your own business. Right?
exactly.
And you don't free up your time. In fact, I think I hear a lot of time, like even as a health professional, is that we work so hard to help others, but we always forget to help ourselves. And I think that is something that is so lacking. And I really want to preach to all the health professional, all the personal trainer, all the people, all the coaches who are there to help others. Like Carin said, you have to help yourself first before you can help others. And I think this is such a great thing where TLS truly want you to help yourself first, and naturally you can help others. So Barb, please share.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me on for this awesome panel. I love it. But my story is basically, as I'm aging, I never was on any type of supplements until I hit 50, all right, because I thought I was healthy, all right, and I wasn't healthy. In the middle of my 50s, I had two hip replacements in my mid 50s and late 50s, and thinking, hey, what's going on? And by then I was taking supplements. TLS was just a natural fit. All right, because I have a drive to know it and to just intake it and then to educate and teach people. So with that being said, I just thought, TLS is a great fit because in 2004, way back when it was just initially a little tiny company, I thought, well, that sounds like fun. I can go on the Utopia with a friend of mine and learn all about it. Well, and that's what we did. So why me? All right. Well, like I said, I never was on supplements in my 50s, and it's never too late. So just so you know, it's never too late to reverse the clock. And so I had a lot of inflammation, and I had bone on bone with my hips. I never had a lot of weight to lose because I've always been the same weight since forever. And but I had the fat. And so even though my weight was the same, and even though I looked good, I could hide the fat really well. All right. So with the fat comes inflammation. And so I thought, okay, I need to do something so that I can, number one, my drive was I need to get down on the floor with my grandkids and be able to get up again without them helping me. All right. So inflammation, weight, fat, TLS was a natural fit. And then I had to pass that information on. So as my journey grew, my focus was myself. All right. My focus then was my husband. And then my focus was my 4 children and their wives. And then as the grandkids came along, it was them. It was like, okay, Grandma, open your refrigerator up, and the snack was carrots and celery. And okay, I had some donuts in there once in a while, but not a lot, because and then on my counter from the time my kids were tiny, my grandkids, there was a bullet there, and in it went the shake when the shake became available. So they were the mad scientists making their shakes, and that was why? Because they were getting protein and they were getting fiber. And so they made their own shake. We ended up having them every night after school. So that was an awesome thing. So my journey was myself, my husband, my family, my grandkids, but then who else can I reach? I only can reach this far, but my grandkids had friends, and my sons and daughters had friends, and I had friends. Who can I help? And it wasn't about selling them something. It was about educating them. If they're educated, they will make the right choice. So the bottom line is health became the new wealth. Health was the new immunity. And then the immunity became our new community. And I stole that from someone, but that's okay. So anyway, so it made sense to me for TLS.
I loved it. Wow, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to take that. Health build is the immunity, and the immunity becomes a community. Ooh, I love it. And nowadays we need immunity and we need a community. So
I'll put it on Facebook. I'll put it on Facebook. I'll put it.
Okay, you put it on Facebook so that people can share and people can talk about that, because I think it's so true. But I think what Barb is showing is that for you to be healthy, she is an example how it really passed through the generation. Like imagine if I have always talked to my clients and my clients said, I have bad genes and that's it. I cannot do anything about it. I think Barb here is showing you that is totally not true. You might be born with not so great genes. However, your lifestyle, your choice of eating habit, and the way you choose your environment really can change your next generation. Like how amazing is that? That you can, like people said, you can pass your wealth, but you can pass your health. Think about that. That's even more powerful. And last but not least, Beth, please share your story. Why did you want to major in TLS?
Well, 40-year story in a few minutes. So my story really starts back when I was 17, and I love this whole health and wealth, and I'll get to that in a minute. But when I was 17, I had no idea, but I was very inflamed. I was filled and riddled with disease. And I now know that that disease was not just physical, but it was also mental, emotional, anxiety, a lot of things that fed into that. So I love that you talk about your community and immunity, because it's not just, I thought, I always thought it's my genes. Well, it's not all my genes, it was my environment. And so when you change the environment, you can start changing the physical body. And so long story short, I started doing that. And I started to see some wellness in my life, and I got into the wellness industry. I became an occupational therapist. I was working in fitness and rehab and combining the two, but I never could create. And I would always say to my husband, one day I'm going to make some money doing what I love to do. And he'd say, you love what you do, but if you could just make a little bit more. I was basically back then making my first job was $9,000 a year, you guys, not a lot. My next couple jobs were in the 20,000s. I wasn't making money, but I loved what I did. I got into the fitness industry. What I learned in the fitness industry is what you kind of started with, is that I bought myself a job. And so there I was writing programs for Fortune 100 companies like DuPont, Bella, Pennsylvania, Johnson & Johnson, City of Clearwater. I was writing these programs for their wellness programs. But once I wrote the program, I was out of business. I didn't have any of that. And so I learned that I wanted more health and wealth, and they came together. It was like a collective. It wasn't just one or the other, because honestly, if you have wealth and you don't have health, it's going to be a short duration. But if you have wealth and health together, you can do so much, but it's not just about what we can do for ourselves. Once we do it for ourselves, I think as humans, humankind, we are a community. We're going out and sharing that with others. And so I wanted to do that. And I was doing that. I was coaching. I was writing programs for everyone. I was designing the programs and selling them. But the problem was I had no leverage. And so when I was introduced back in 1996, I was introduced to OPC3 and isotonics. What I saw behind that was a business with leverage. And that's what introduced me to this whole concept. So I was still writing programs at this point, you guys. And now I have added isotonics to my regime with all of my courses and stuff I was offering. But I didn't have the leverage in the lifestyle that I was looking for. And I will say this, when TLS was born, I remember vividly sitting in an auditorium in a Coliseum, and every one of my friends who knew me well looked around and said, "Did you write this?" And I said, "I did not write this." But it was everything I'd always preached. I never preached a diet. I always said diet's a 4-letter word. I always preached lifestyle. It was a combination. Everything I did in terms of traveling nationally and teaching for the occupational therapy boards and everything was always about balance, the wheel of balance, and that it's body, mind, and spirit, mental, physical, emotional, financial. Play is work, work is play. We have to enjoy life if we're going to give back to society. And so all of these things coupled together, I saw TLS and went, oh my gosh, I've got a leverage system. I have now a leverage system with TLS, and bam, I can put those two together, and it's like peanut butter and jelly came together, made a delicious sandwich, and we just started going forward from there. And that's what turned into this incredible experience of being able to create teams of people working together to improve the health of our communities.
Wow, beautifully said. I cannot agree more. I think even as a health professional, I always say that you hear people who are hairdresser who even as health professional, you're only as good as your last client. When you think about it, it is. And I
Mhm.
constantly need to look for clients. And competition is fierce. Like no one is really there to help you. They're hoping for you to go down because they're going to take your clients. And I said that is so true, especially when I got into 2 car accidents back to back and I couldn't work. That was the first time in my life where I felt, wow, I still have my knowledge, still have my mindset. I couldn't work. And my income went to zero, like literally zero. And that was a very scary thinking. It was like when you said leverage, that was like no leverage whatsoever because people bought the package because of you. So when you ask someone to replace you, it's still not you. And that's when I realized I need to leverage. And that's why I was thinking of a plan B. And at that time, OPC came into my mom's life and the whole business plan. And I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for. It's such a perfect fit. And exactly like banana and jelly. For me, it was not banana, peanut butter and jelly. But for me, I'm not a jelly fan. I was a peanut butter and banana for me. But either way works. Okay, so you know what? A lot of people always wonder, Carin, I know you are an amazing, amazing trainer and coach. And you can see from your accolade, you've got so many awards. So I would love to ask you is why do you think the tools and resources that we have in TLS are so useful for coaches? And why TLS certification is that important for people who are considered in the wellness industry?
Mm-hmm. I love the certification, as you know. And, some people say, no one's ever asked me, just like when I was personal training people, I would say I was a certified personal trainer. No one asked me for that piece of paper, right? I showed with my actions, with the way I talked, my posturing. It's the same way with TLS because I just had someone say, no one's ever asked me for my piece of paper, but it's more than a piece of paper because just like when people graduate from college, right? They say if someone gives you a piece of paper, it means nothing, but this is the education that we go through. Part of our certification is coaching clients. So we have experience. So we've answered the questions that are going to come to us, right? And that gives us credibility. So I love the certification. That might be the first thing that I would hire someone on, say as a traditional business owner. And then I want to see them in action, right? And I want to hear their words and do they have compassion for people and can they build relationships and can they get people to follow them before they show them, everything that they know and have learned, right? So it's more than the certification, but the tools that we have, the infographics, like you don't have to know every ingredient that's in a product. We have a quality infographic, right? And if you haven't been to a product symposium yet, and you don't know how to speak about the product or what it does, pull out the infographic. It's professional looking, our health guide, our structure on our TLS website that takes them from place to place to place, right? Chapter by chapter, instead of being scattered and just handing them a piece of paper. This is what I always say in health professional offices. When I work with health professionals, they want their patient to come back in with better health tests, right? And that's their blood work, right? And better health and better energy and less symptoms. But if they just sent them with a brochure from a pharmaceutical company, or they just said you need to lose weight, right? They go home and they don't know what to do. They haven't been taught, what to do. So our structure is so important and our tools are so important. And that allows us to just be their coach, right? Because then when they, want to fall off the wagon, and they're like, I can't do this, I quit. I was like, you can't quit your life. It's a lifestyle. There's no quitting your life, right? You're going to keep going until you die, right? So let's learn this. Let's get this. Let's figure out your triggers. Then I can just be a coach and let the tools and the system work for me. And that's what I really love about TLS. And it's so professional.
And I cannot agree more, because as a dietitian, and honestly, I want to add one more point that Beth just said. I don't like the word diet. So to a certain degree, I don't actually like to be called dietitian, because so many people will say, "Oh, you're a dietitian. You give me a diet," and I almost, when I hear it, it bothers me so much. I almost want to say, "I'm not a dietitian. I am your nutrition teacher." I usually say that I teach nutrition. I'm not just about a diet. So I wish we can change that name so it's no longer called dietitian. But I do want to say that when I was practicing as a dietitian, or to become a dietitian, is no different. We have the education. I need to do my internship. And after my internship, which is the practicum, then I write my license exam, which is exactly what we do, because in TLS 101, you got the education. And the 201, you got the business part to teach you how to coach people. And when you start coaching at least 10 people, you're doing the practicum to give you the experience. Because when I was learning in university, we have learned tons of textbooks of so many things, but they are useless unless we practice it, because we don't recall anything. So in my 1 year of practice in the hospital, I learned so much. I really finally understand, oh, that's the disease that they're talking about. That's the blood work that we're looking at. It finally linked and connected together. And this is what TLS is about. We have all these tools so that you can use for your clients. So while you are helping your client, you are learning at the same time. You're building confidence, so that when you are writing the coach's exam, which is not meant to make it hard, if you do the work, you will pass the exam. Like when I did my dietetic exam, if you done the education, you done the practicum, you will pass the exam, unless you really did not do your work, basically, right? Then after that, you feel confident to be out there, start helping people. And that's what I love about it. So when I saw the whole TL certification, it makes so much complete sense to me. And that makes it so professional. And that's what I love about it. So Barb, I know you're a teacher and you're not a health professional. So people always wonder, okay, TLS 101, I learned all about, the product side, what's TLS 1, like in terms of the menu plan and the nutrition 101, understand the foundation of nutrition. So can you share with them like what they're expecting to learn in 201 that will help them not only in building the business, whether they major in TLS or not? So can you share some of your perspective?
So it's no different than as an unfranchised owner, you take the class of the basic 5. And that's what TLS 201 is. It's the basic 5. It's putting the 5 W's. It's the who, the what, the where, the when, and why you're actually doing TLS. So it's putting that all together in the 201. So it's talking about the business itself. Who are we? We've got a parent company. What is the standing of that company? It talks about divisions within our division, like the TLS Select that health professionals can use. It talks about, well, how do I retail? How do I sell? And the bottom line is, it's about relationships. The whole business is about relationships. If you have a relationship with someone and you educate them, it becomes very simple, because you then can educate them, or using the tools that Carin was talking about to educate them so that they will purchase. It's not about selling. It's about sharing so that they get healthy. And if you look at TLS, it's just health. That's all it is. It's getting rid of the fat. It's getting rid of the toxins. And that's what we talk about. And then all, like Carin was talking about, the tools we have. Oh my goodness, the TLS website is the tool. All right, the health guide with, yay, it is now digital. So just so you know, you can go into your back office and, take that and send it to Staples, where you will get IBV, so that you can then put it together and use it if you want it that way, or you can, again, get to it through the back office. But we have the Facebook TLS. We have YouTube channels. So we have all the tools that we will teach you about. But more than that, we ask and tell you how to attract clients. And again, it's building that relationship. But then putting it together, it's a business. TLS is a business. It's about making money. It's about helping people make money. So it's the goals. Why do you want to be a coach? Why do you want TLS? And then it's putting that together into an action plan with, I basically love the action plan, because again, it's building that relationships. You know, it's all about staying healthy and staying fit. And it's about being an inspiration to other people. So yes, it starts with you always. But again, it's your journey. You know, I mean, you take Dr. Nancy Miller-Ely, her journey, losing over 170 pounds. That's more than one of me. That's more than one of all of you. And I mean, think about it, but think about how ill she was. Carin talks about being ill. You know, Beth talks about being ill. I was ill and I didn't know it, because we don't know. We don't have a zipper that we can zip open and say, oh, this is all wrong. You know, but again, it's the education. And then we teach about, again, from 101, we go into 201, which is the business. It's about the wealth and making people healthy. It's about being an inspiration to everyone that you come in contact with. And again, we want to be TLS strong, and we all have a story to share.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I cannot agree more. I think in the TLS 201, like you said, it is the basic 5. And those, for a lot of PUs, I've been to local seminar, I learned the basic 5 all the time. But what makes TLS 201 different is that you're learning basic 5 and how to really using incorporate from the TLS perspective, using strategies that works with trainer and coaches who have done it. Can you imagine, imagine me learning nutrition from a doctor? It's not the same. I need to learn nutrition from a dietitian who has been doing the work. So when you learn the basic 5 from a person who is major in TLS, it's a different learning experience, because what they're going to share with you is the tools, but how they use that tool, right? Tools are useless unless you know how to use it correctly. And that's what you get to learn within our TLS 201 training. So for that, I am going to ask Beth. You know, Beth, you mentioned that word, and that is the word that it really holds so true to my heart, because especially after my my accident, is the word leverage. I think as anybody, you ask a lot of people, they don't really know what leverage is until you realize you have no leverage. And I really would love for you to share why you feel that TLS is the best leveraging tool in terms of leveraging, as well as in terms of building a team.
Absolutely. You know that this is what I'm so passionate about leverage, because I'm going to piggyback off of what Barb said. Barb said, you know, we can't unzip ourselves. The thing is, we can't unzip ourselves to even know that we don't have leverage. It's almost one of those things that until you hit that wall and experience it, you don't even understand what it brings to you. So even though I was looking for leverage, until I actually entered a phase of my life where I needed that leverage, I didn't really have that experience. But once you have that experience, the leverage, and what I want to talk about here is the fact that we have leverage in so many different areas. Just here today, we get the ability to leverage all of these people, all these trainers that you bring on, Suzanne, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of this today. It's such an incredible community within this TLS support page of coaches. And I always say we've got the leverage of what you guys all talked about in the tools, because all of that is leverage to us. I was writing my own programs for anyone out there who was doing that or coaching one-on-one. You're only as good as that next person you serve. And so in order to create leverage, we have to come together as a community. And I now have access to all of these tools that I don't ever have to sit and write anything. All I have to do is go grab that thing and email it off, or send it, or give it, or share it, or whatever. So there's leverage in our tools and our educational process. With TLS 101 and 201, we've got leverage in training to learn that education. Where else can you go and attend trainings for so inexpensive and be able to garner so much information from so many professional people who have lived the lifestyle and are going to teach you from experience, and be able to do that at such a low cost and have so many people come together? And it's not just somebody who's out there teaching it, they're actually doing it. And I always say that's why there's so much passion behind this, because there's nobody teaching TLS who's not living it. We do it from a heart, or we do it from a gift, serving out of our heart. Okay. But I want to take this to another level, because for me, I want certified trainers to be able to be partnered with. I want to work with like minds, but at the same time, Barb, you talked about it. Your daughters, your sons, they all have kids, grandkids. They all have contacts. They all have friends. Not everyone wants to specialize in TLS. But the thing is, if we don't know enough about TLS, we'll never be able to create the leverage that comes from it. And let's face it, how many of us know people out there who want more health, less pain, more energy to get down on the floor with their kids or grandkids, more whatever, and less fat? You know, anybody? I think we all could list that we know plenty of people with those needs or wants. So when we look at that, if we just say, well, that's not a fitness trainer, or that's not a health professional, I can't work with that person in TLS. I want to encourage you, not true. Every one of us has a need. I have people who I work with who are totally into debt shredder and finances, or websites, or salons and spas with skincare and makeup. They're not necessarily nutrition specialists. But the thing is, we can collectively all come together when we understand what we have our hands on, and we understand how to build with it, which is what 201 teaches us. We have the ability then to leverage all people to be able to move everything forward. The rising tide raises all boats, you guys. And that's all we're doing, is learning enough. I always say, if it's not your specialty, learn enough to be dangerous. Learn enough so that you can have a conversation and then guide them to the leader of that particular conversation so that you can work together as teams. And that's what I love about this community. It doesn't always have to be within your own team. I work with Barb, I work with Suzanne, I worked with Carin. I have done calls with all of them at some point in time and continue to do so, but we are not financially connected. The beauty of our business is it offers leverage on every level. And I have never, ever looked back from that time that I saw this at the age of about 30 to where I am today. I've never looked back, because I have never been able to find something that's going to give me as much leverage with the lifestyle as well as leverage with business.
Wow.
Mhm.
I have to say that before, I never learned about the power of leverage until two incidents happened. One is obviously the car accident made me realize I have no leverage. But when I had my first daughter and I was off for the whole year, not working.
Oh.
And the reason why it was, I had a challenging, not a challenging birth, but it's challenging in terms of a breastfeeding time. I have a very challenging period. And that time, my husband and I went to a lactation consultant literally every single day for help. And one time a lactation consultant said, do you need me to write you a sick note so that you can take time off work? And my husband and I just look at them and smile and said, we don't need it. And it was such a great feeling to say that we don't need it. We don't have a boss to answer to. We can take as much time as we wanted to. It's the first time in my life where I totally understand the power of leverage, because I was still getting income every single week while I was dealing with my personal challenges at that time, being a new mom and breastfeeding my first daughter. So I want to tell people, you don't know the power of it until you tasted it. And once you tasted it, you don't want to let go. You want that. So I want to say it's so amazing. I want to say the honor is mine to really work with you amazing leaders, really leaders in your own field, and trainers that we have. Like, for those of you who never had a chance to attend Carin's training or Beth's training or Barb training, as well as other trainers, take advantage, right? You are not just learning the basic of TLS 101 and 2. You really pick on their brain. You really pick on that experience, and that is valuable. I really, really want you to see that. And for that, we are almost coming to a landing. I just want to say, if we were to end, which I'm going to talk about our upcoming TLS 101 and 201 training. Carin, Beth, and Barb, do you have any last words that you want to share with everyone?
I do. I'd like to piggyback on what Beth said. And, my L word is legacy. And, Yeah, because I meet so many coaches who tell me they just want to be a coach, which is fine. And you can just, and I don't want to say just, I actually took a seminar where when you say, I'm just a coach, I'm just a trainer, don't ever say just, okay? I just misspoke. But legacy is the key to our business, because no matter how good of a coach I got, which I was a great coach, I got to be a great coach, but I didn't start growing my business until I had to start saying no to people. No, I don't have time to coach you. No, I don't have time to train you. So I had to either turn people away and say, no, I can't help you, or I had to put on my big girl underwear and start mentoring other people to create a legacy of health and wellness wherever I go in business. So I know a lot of TLS coaches say, oh, I don't care about the money. We are in a passion business. We are a business of passion and giving, right? But if we can't afford to give to ourselves, if we can't afford our own supplements, our own organic food, whatever it is that your goals are that you want to do, you need to be able to afford your child's college, whatever it is, right? And then pay it forward to others so they can experience what we're experiencing. And that, I feel like, is the core of TLS and our business, and the legacy that we get to create. So thank you.
I love it. So Beth, Barb, any last word?
I'm just going to leave one short statement, and that is dig your well before you are thirsty.
Oh, I like that. Wow, there's a lot of, I felt a lot of these quotes. I need to go back and listen to it and take it and really start repeating it. Okay, Barb.
I had to write that down. I don't have that one. So again, it's all about health. TLS is not just TLS. TLS, Transitions Lifestyle. It's your lifestyle. And your health is your new wealth. And you don't know until you don't have it anymore. All right. It's like money. If you don't have it, you can't do anything. And if you don't have health, you are stuck in that deep well. All right. And again, be an inspiration to everyone you come in contact. Just be an inspiration. Be yourself. Love yourself enough to love other people.
Oh, love it. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, ladies. For those of you who are tuning in live with us, I'm sure your notebook is filled with nuggets. I'm actually going to watch this again and take all those quotes because I love it. I'm going to say that because the great thing about in Transition Lifestyle System or TLS or in a shop.com business is you can steal it. And leverage it because JR always said, steal it, make it your own and grow from there. So for that, I want to share with you, do a quick share screen to let you know our upcoming training that you can see. So let me do a quick right here. So upcoming week for January, you see we have packed with a lot of one-on-one training, and we purposely doing that is because we understand January is a huge New Year resolution, take care of my health, weight loss, weight management, like ready to make change, that kind of season. And we thought, why not to have more TLS one-on-one training to help you, to help your customer, to help you, to help your partner, to really truly live the health and wealth lifestyle. So we have 4 training coming up. January 7th, which is coming up in 2 days, right? With Dr. Nancy Miller-Ely. Then we have January 14th is Carin, right? With Suzanne Patrick on, if you are speaking Mandarin and you have a Mandarin customer or you have a Mandarin speaking partner who want to attend a Mandarin TLS 101, we do have one on January 16th, which is myself and Sam. And on January 27th, we have Beth and Barb, who is teaching the TLS 101. And for those of you who say, hey, how about TLS 201? Don't worry, we have you covered. Because after you focus on your health, we're going to focus on your wealth. And that's why 101 and 201 training we'll be offering in February. So just to let you know, if for the 101 in Mandarin, it's only on Saturday. The 201 component is on Sunday, January 17th. We're doing 2 days just because some people say that a whole day for them is very challenging. First, from a feedback from the Mandarin speaking community, and that's why we're trying to do that to accommodate so that we can help as many people as possible. Then we have a English training on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, and Barb and Georgie Jet will be doing a full day training just in time before Valentine's Day. And for that, for those of you who have not joined us yet, please, please, please have you join us yet. It's to 28 days of weight loss. We're hosting it on our official TLS Facebook page, which is TLS Weight Loss Solution. We're already started on January 1st. Today is January 5th. It's not too late to tune in. We have tons of information there. We have recipe. We have Dr. Deidre right there, Deidre Mason. We have Melanie. We have Dennis. We have Lauren. Everyone's here helping and supporting you to really kick off 2021 with a bang so that you can, I always say that if you start out right, you always end up so much better. And this is exactly why we're doing this. So hope you are joining us. If you haven't yet, please come and join us. And for that, thank you so much to Carin, to Beth, to Barb. Thank you for joining me today on our TLS panel interview. I think I will really want to do more often so that they get to hear from you guys, but also to really serve as a reminder that in TLS, we are offering so much more. And sometime if you've been doing the training, say years back, come and check us out again. We're completely different. We're definitely newer, sexier, and definitely, yeah, exactly. And this will, and come and check us. I bet you'll be quite surprised what we have to offer. And we really want the 2021 to be your best year yet. And for that, thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.